There are 4 items I want to point out on the TI-30XS calculator that we will refer to throughout this brief presentation. First, notice the blinking rectangle at the top of the calculator display that appears when I turn the calculator on. This is known as the cursor. Next, note the calculator button labeled Second, which when pressed allows you to access all calculator functions that are printed in green above other calculator keys. Third, note the calculator button labeled N over D that looks like a fraction. It is known as the fraction key, where N stands for numerator and D stands for denominator. Directly above the fraction key, you'll notice that the same key can access the mixed number function when pressed after the second function calculator key. Lastly, note the arrows or cursor button at the far top right of the calculator. This key allows you to move the cursor, that is the blinking rectangle, up, down, left, or right. Let's look at how we would enter either proper or improper fractions into the TI-30XS calculator using the fraction key. So I'm going to go ahead and select the fraction key. Notice that it provides me with a template for entering the fractions numerator. So I'm going to enter a numerator of 25. Then I use the arrow key, the down arrow key, to move to the denominator, and I'm going to enter in 13. And now I'm going to use the right arrow key to move to the right of that fraction. And notice that I've entered the fraction 25/13. So when I hit enter, it simply shows that improper fraction on the display as having been entered. Hopefully, it goes without saying that I would use the same key if I want to enter in a proper fraction. Let's look at how we would perform some fraction-related arithmetic calculations. So suppose I want to take 1/2, so I hit the fraction key and enter 1, down arrow, 2, right arrow. And I want to take 1/2 plus 1/3, let's say. So I hit the fraction key again, 1, down arrow, 3, right arrow. And at this point I hit enter, and I get that the answer is 5/6. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's also do fraction multiplication. So I want to go ahead and do fraction 2, down arrow, 5 for the denominator, move the right arrow over, 2/5 times 2/3. So fraction key 2 for the numerator, down arrow 3 for the denominator, and then move the arrow key to the right, hit enter, and I get an answer of 4/15. So we can do any arithmetic operations with fractions that we would like just by using the fraction key and the arithmetic operation keys of division, multiplication, subtraction, and addition. And if we need some parentheses, we have the left and right parentheses available to do that also. Let's look at how we would enter a mixed number into the TI-30XS calculator. So I do so by hitting the second key, followed by the fraction key. Notice that that accesses the mixed number function that is printed in green above the fraction key, and it produces a template on the screen that we can now enter our mixed number with. So I'm going to enter in 12, move the right arrow cursor to go to the numerator of the fraction part, put a 1 for the numerator, and then move the down arrow key and enter a 2 for the denominator. So I have now entered the mixed number 12 and 1/2, and I'm going to hit the enter key to see what it does. Notice that the calculator takes the mixed number and converts it into an improper fraction form when I hit the enter key. And that's okay, because more than likely I'm going to use that for a calculation, and that would be fine that it's an improper fraction format. Let's look at how we would perform mixed number arithmetic calculations. So I'm going to go ahead and use the second function button followed by the fraction key. Notice that that provides a mixed number template on the screen for us to be able to fill in a mixed number. So I'm going to fill in 2 and 2/3. So I start with the 2, right arrow key to go to the numerator, 2 for the numerator, down arrow key to get to the denominator, and enter a 3. And then move the right arrow key over so I can now get in my arithmetic operation. So I'm going to multiply that by 3 and 1/3. So I go second, fraction key to get the mixed number template again, 3, right arrow, 1, down arrow, third, and I now have 2 2/3 times 3 1/3. And I'm going to hit the Enter key and see what happens. And notice that it provides me with the answer as an improper fraction. Now, I don't want to keep that as an improper fraction, though. I would like to convert that back to a mixed number. Fortunately, there's a way to do that. I'm going to hit the second function key, and then you can see where my finger is pointing, there is a second function of converting fractions to mixed numbers and back again. So I'm going to hit that key that green writing is above. Notice on the screen I now have the ND converting to UND function, which is fraction to mixed number. And when I hit enter, I get the mixed number representation for 80/9. 80/9 is equivalent to 8 8/9. Now suppose I wanted to convert that back to an improper fraction, which I can do. I just use the second function key and that same green function of fraction to mixed number conversion. And when I hit enter, notice that it is now again an improper fraction.